Blog Talk Radio.
Thanks everyone for stopping by and listening. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope this past weekend was fun. It was kind of warm in South Carolina. It was in the 80s. And I hope everyone have an upcoming great week too because it's Christmas week. I would like to give a shout out to Ruby Weldon Gatson, James Gatson, Stacy, Jennifer, and Jason, to my niece and nephew, and to Dr. Sunday Hill. You can find me on Twitter, RCW112, Facebook, or you can leave emails at rcw112@yahoo.com or weldonr112@gmail.com. Once again, you can leave emails, feedback, or questions at rcw112@yahoo.com, weldonr12@gmail.com. And you can be a guest calling at 646-915-9934. Once again, you can be a guest calling at 646-915-9934. You can call in and make comments or statements or ask questions. Food for the soul thought. Something always great comes from the smallest of ideas, so never give up. If you can see it will happen. Food for the soul menu, holiday menu, turkey, fried chicken, cranberry sauce, rice, yams, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, tossed salad, drink eggnog. The family Christmas dinner was great. It was fun seeing family, and as always, we got a lot to say. A lot of jokes were made. Family and friends are very important. It was great talking to loved ones because everyone is always so busy during this time of year or during the year, so it was a wonderful time. A lot of new relationships were being formed this year, so keep loving your heart. I'm very excited that Christmas is only a few days away, and there are so many movies, stories passed down through the ages about such a wonderful day or event in time. I can only imagine the first Christmas. It was not called that. It was the birth of Jesus. It was amazing how he was and how he came down to earth. It was funny. There was no reservations at the Howard Johnson or Holiday Inn or at any of your 4- or 5-star hotels. It is breathtaking. He was born to common people and not noble men or women, where he could get the best education or eat at the royal table, where they had leeks and onions or figs and grapes. It was none of that. He was born to a poor people without anything. In other words, he was amongst the poor, the lower class. But he was just not any man. He was the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Prince of Princes. He was the lily in the valley. He was the highest anyone ever could go. He was the beginning, and he will be in the end. Christmas is not the time of year for you to worry about what's under the Christmas tree or what kind of gifts mom and daddy got you. We took something so great and turned it into an I moment. It's all about me. It's what I want or need. We have to understand that it's not about toys or gifts or anything with no value. The true values come from within, the whole meaning of what happened at the event. You have the King of Kings born, and he was born with the animals, the sheep, the straw, and everything else that went along with it born. There were no silk sheets, no Versace sheets, no Gucci sheets, none of that he was wrapped up in. There were no high-priced doctor. There was no private nurses. There was no one trying to take pictures of him, talking about paparazzi, like they do now. Like a famous baby is born, they will go out of their way to take a picture of this child or kill themselves in the process. The truth of the matter, he came down from heaven for us to have a second chance. Stop teaching your children it is all about what they can get. It is what you can give. It is not about you. This season is not about you. Get it through your mind. It is about what you can do good for someone else. Saying nice words, doing kind deeds. It is not about how much you can buy. This season is a season of action. You can buy me anything all day long, but can you show me real love? Say something nice. This season is about the process of being a great person, and don't get caught up in the process. The process will make you. Sometimes we get caught up in the process until we forget about the end result. When I bake a cake, you have eggs, flour, sugar, a bowl, and other raw ingredients that just is not good by themselves. But if you put a few eggs, a cup of flour, a pound of butter, some extract, some of this and some of that, and whip it all together just right, set the oven at 325, and put it in a baking dish and wait 30 minutes later. Let it cool, get your icing ready. Now you got a nice cake. So once again, we got to stop getting caught up in the process. It is like going to college, and they tell you that you have to have 85 credit hours to get a degree. In the first year, it is hard, and it looks like a lot. Year 2 go by, year 3 go by, and year 4. And now here we are. Now it's looking like it's okay. I'm getting there. It is the process that makes a relationship work. It is the process that turns a boy into a man. It is the process that turns a girl into a woman. It is each little step that makes the whole. You can get something from nothing. You can't get something from nothing that is not there in the beginning. You can't get gold from pine straw. That is just in the fables or fairy tales. What is in you will come out of you no matter where you are at. A great leader will always be a great leader in or out of prison. Look at Nelson Mandela. 27 was in prison, and he came out to be the president. He was the president before he went to prison, and he came out of prison as the president. When I could not find a job, I looked at what was there, and I started Food for the Soul. And look, 20,000 people later on my blog, and on the blog radio show, it's growing step by step. It is the process that brings me to you and you to me. You have to understand a great man is a great man with or without you. I'm talking to you ladies. He does not need you to do what? He does not need you to do what is in him to do. If you got a task, he will do it. But a weak man will need you every step of the way because there is nothing in him to get anything out of him. Remember that a great man is ordered by God and will be fine, but a weak man will always need someone to pump him or prime him or drag him along the way. That is why there's a drug problem. That is why he's getting high, playing video games, or doing something silly. But a strong man will go on with his mission if you walk in or away. There are so many great people that come and go on, but I'm still holding it down by myself because I'm a strong person. I don't need you to push or pull me or pry me along the way. I know what I have to do, and I will get it done. And that is the bottom line. You can come and go, but I'm in it for the long haul. Food for the soul. There's nothing like being a creator because you will see your creation pay off. Sometimes in life we have to look at where we are and look at how far we have come. Remember, the greatest things come from the smallest places. That is not just for a Facebook post or something to Twitter about. You can make it work for you. You are great. You are someone. I love this year because it makes you realize how important family and friends are. Sometimes we get caught up in ourselves. History behind the candy cane. The use of the candy canes on Christmas trees made its way to America by the 1800s. However, during this time, they were still pure white. They are represented this way on Christmas cards made before 1900. It is not until the early 20th century that they appear with the familiar red stripes. Today, candy canes, along with sugar and fast cane with Christmas foods, have become a huge industry along the diet industry, that manifest diet that comes after Christmas. Many people have given religious meaning in the shape and the form of the candy cane. It is said it is like the letter J in Jesus' name. It is also the shape of the shepherd's crook, symbolizing how Jesus, like the good shepherd, watches over his children like little lambs. It is a hard candy, solid like a rock. The foundation of the church, the flavor of peppermint is similar to another member of the mint family, hyssop. In the Old Testament, hyssop was used for the purification and sanctification. This is said to symbolize the purity of Jesus and the sacrifice he made. Some say the white of the candy cane represents the purity of Jesus and his virgin birth. The blood red stripes represent God's love. The three fine stripes are said by some represent the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Others say they represent the blood spilled at the beating Jesus received at the hands of the Roman soldiers. And Christmas time is a great time of year because it reminds me of love, unity, and time spent with family and friends and loved ones. Like I was saying earlier, there are many stories about the birth of Jesus, and there's many great stories about Christmas time, like the Christmas Carol, about Scrooge, about learning to love and give to your fellow man. I know we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of trying to buy gifts for loved ones or children or whoever, and the lines may get long at Walmart, Target, Kmart, or other places you might shop at. And I know sometimes a lot of people are using online to buy gifts as well. That's not a big deal to me or anything, but I'm saying the real reason behind Christmas is the meaning of love. Now we notice that the birth of Jesus was born to the Virgin Mary and Joseph in a manger in the middle of the desert. There was no comfort in. There was none of that. There was no cars or anything. It was just them on their lonesome, following what God has commanded them to do. And I know sometimes we forget, we overlook the story and think it's all about shopping and buying expensive, extravagant gifts. I'm not against buying the gifts. I mean, it's good to give gifts. It makes people feel important. But also you got to understand that the real meaning behind the season is love. And I see sometimes we get so caught up in to where we got to go, what we got to do, that we sometimes run over other people, push them out the way, or cut them off in the grocery store just to get what we need to get done. It's not, like I said earlier, it's not all about us. Sometimes it's okay to let somebody in the traffic. Sometimes it's okay to slow down a little bit. Sometimes we get caught up in where we got to go and how we got to get there and what our plans are. Sometimes it's a blessing in letting somebody else in and being nice and courteous to them. I know we always get caught up in the I moment of life. I this and I that. I got this place to be and I got this to do and I got this to get for or whatever. This season is not. This is not an I holiday. It's a giving holiday. It's always been a giving holiday. And like I was saying, the birth was a magnificent birth because Jesus was the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and he could command to be born anywhere he wanted to be born. He had that right, but he chose to be born amongst the common people to show that sometimes you have to think more of yourself and get off your high horse and walk amongst the people that are a little bit lower than you. And sometimes I notice that sometimes celebrities get caught up in thinking they're better than the people that buy their music or their present or their gifts or their jewelry or their perfume or their cologne or their designer, whatever, footwear, whatever. Sometimes they get to the point where they don't be appreciative of who's really supporting them. And they think they're better than the people that support them and don't shake their hand or want to talk to them. But you got to remember, poor people are the people that are buying your stuff that make you rich and putting you in the position that you are in. So never forget or think you better than the people that are buying your merchandise. In other words, what I'm saying is, one of the main things about Christianity is serving your fellow man. And you cannot put yourself in a serving position if you're thinking you're better than the people that you're serving. You have to be humble. That means you have to put you aside and be nice. And sometimes it's hard for people to do that because they get caught in, well, I made my money, or I done made it to the top, screw everybody else. But you got to remember, what would happen if you lose your money or lose your fans or your prestige? Where would you be at? You will be a common person. And I'm not knocking somebody that's a star or a celebrity because I don't know what's in store for me, but I know that everybody started out with a humble beginning. But after a while, they lose their humbleness and start thinking that they're above everybody else. You got some celebrities that put themselves among God and Jesus, and they think they're untouchable. But you got to remember one thing. If you were born, you're going to die. And that's where a lot of people make that mistake at. Or they think they're better than common folk, but you're not. Celebrities still don't mean anything. If you was born, you're going to die. And that was the main reason why Jesus came, so we can have eternity and a chance to get into heaven. So it's not about this life that really matters, because this is just a small percentage. But wherever your soul went is according to how you live on this side. And I'm not saying I'm so holier than thou, but I just know one thing, that we all have a right to eternity if we live the right way and do what we're supposed to do. And nobody is better than the next person. And that's why he was born the way he was born, in a manger, to show that he was humble and had a good spirit. And I noticed that there are the people that always do great deeds and not be noticed. And sometimes it's not about being on the news or letting everybody show you what you did and give you recognition for that. Love is the reason for the season, and love should be not just for this season, but it should be year-round. We should want to be kind 365 days out the year, and not just during the Christmas season or the Christmas holidays or the Thanksgiving holidays that just passed. Because what is in you will come out of you. It can't help itself. If you're a mean-spirited person, it will come out of you. If you're a humble person, it will come out of you. If you're meek, humble, mild, it will come out of you. Whatever is in you will come out of you in some way, shape, or form. It can't help itself. It will make itself manifested. So I know that Christmas is in a couple of days, the 25th of December. And I know it's a lot of people on the road traveling. So please leave in time where you don't have to rush or run over somebody or get into an accident, because that's only going to slow you down. And I know sometimes life will throw us a doozy, but remember, this time of year, as I stated earlier, and we should be thankful that we have health, food to eat, a place to stay, the basics in life. Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. As I was talking earlier about the meaning behind Christmas and how it's not an I holiday, it's about sharing and giving and putting yourself aside and being humble and meek and understanding your position in life and putting yourself in a humbling position to serve others.
Well, it's amazing that you say that. And when I think about Christmas alone and the whole purpose behind it and the whole meaning behind it, where the birth of Jesus Christ. And when we think about Jesus Christ collectively, the thought that we have, as you said, is serving others, because that's really what Jesus was all about. He was all about serving and helping and providing all that he could provide for those that were in need. And so here we have this holiday that represents, a symbolic meaning. Because, sometimes people like to say, Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. Well, it's not about him being born on Christmas. It's about him being born and we celebrating his birth. and celebrating what he represents and what his birth meant when he was born. And that his whole purpose was to live and die for the world. And here we, as laymen, as individuals, we go out and we go shopping and we purchase things, and sometimes people get so caught up in what they didn't get or what they wanted, and it didn't quite fit what they really wanted to have, and they begin to complain and then forget the whole purpose and the whole meaning behind Christmas. Christmas is such an important holiday. It's an important holiday because the birth of Jesus. And because of his birth, we as individuals not only should celebrate his birth, but also celebrate his meaning. And we celebrate it through giving. It's so important to give because, the Bible says it's always better to give than receive, and that's such a true statement. It is so better to give than receive, but so many people lose sight of the whole purpose behind Christmas, that if they don't get, you don't get. If you don't give me anything, then I'm not going to give you anything. And that's not what Christmas is all about. Sometimes people, you'll find people stressing over the holidays. They stress because they know that there's somebody that wants something and they can't get it, or they got something, they want something, but it's they're going above and beyond their financial means to get it. And there you begin to lose the true value and the true meaning of Christmas. When you got to go into your bank account and empty it completely because you want to get your son, your daughter, a Xbox 3. And if you don't get that Xbox 3, your child won't be happy, then we lose sight. We lose sight of the true meaning behind Christmas. And that's not what Christmas is about. Christmas is about being happy with gifts. I know when my little one, I'm going to tell you how I do her. You give a surprise, and whatever that surprise is, you be happy because you didn't have to get that. And when you teach your child that, your child learns to appreciate whatever they get. That's why I don't really believe in the whole Christmas list, write down a whole bunch of stuff that you want, and if I can't get it, then your Christmas is not Christmas. No. I believe that Christmas is about giving, and you be happy with whatever you get. That's my belief.
I know a lot of people are depressed this time of year, and I know the holidays can be very depressing if you're lonely, you don't have family, or you just lost a loved one. And it can be a very traumatic time of year for a lot of people. Depression is very high, and suicide is very high this time of year. And if you have a problem, please don't commit suicide or do anything crazy. Talk to your friends, your family members. Talk to somebody. Just don't.
Even if, because
a quick fix.
Well, it's true that you say that. But even if you don't have, because some people don't have family, and that's part of the reason why that they do commit suicide. But go to your local church. Find a place where you can find complete and total happiness. You can go to your local church, your local homeless shelter. You can go to, there's a lot of crisis ministry places that you can go to that will help you deal with being alone during the holiday season. And you don't have to be alone if you reach out to these various places. If you reach out, you just got to reach out.
This time of year can be great, and this time of year is an emotional time of year for a lot of people, a lot of places. People overseas in armed services that can't get in touch with their loved ones or missing traditional Christmas things. This is a very high emotional time of year for a lot of people, a lot of places. And it also can bring on another thing that people like to do. Please don't drink and drive. If you drink, don't drive. Please think about your actions before you do them. I'm not saying don't drink because I'm not your parents or anything, but please be safe when you're doing it. Be responsible. So, I mean, I love the holidays. I like spending time with family. I like talking to other people. And it's a lot of time. It's a lot of great times this time of year. It's a lot of good stuff going on. So please enjoy life and each other and be kind and courteous and be humble and giving.
Uh-huh.
And you can always follow me on Twitter at RCW112 or Facebook, or you can email me and leave feedback at RCW112 or WeldonR12@gmail.com. So I hope everybody enjoy their Christmas and know the real reason behind the season. And it's not always about what you can give or buy somebody, but as long as you give kindness and love, that's all that matters.
And the whole purpose behind Christmas, we don't want to lose the meeting. Because when you lose the meeting, that's when you begin to get stressed out. That's when you begin to worry. That's when you don't find true happiness. When you lose the whole purpose and meaning behind Christmas, that's when you interrupt the meaning of Jesus' birth. And his birth was a representation of kindness to all men. And be kind to everybody. That way, when you're kind to everyone, the smallest kindness, the smallest act of kindness can mean the world to someone who has never been, who no one has ever reached out to touch them at all. And I believe that when we begin to think on the whole purpose behind Jesus Christ, the concept, his whole purpose, then you then begin to realize, you know what? Christmas is more than just giving gifts. It's about reaching out and being a help to somebody who's in need.
I just be thankful for having the basics. As long as I got the basics, I'm okay. That's food, shelter, and health. That's all that matters to me. Anything else is just what it is. Anything else, because so many people don't have the basics.
And that's true. That's true. A lot of people lose sight of the basic things that they need in life. They lose the basic things you need in life. That's when things become scary.
It's already done. The day went by fast.